Hello, welcome back to Reading Success Academy. I'm Paula Smith, and in this live lesson, we're going to be working on some third grade spelling words. We're going to be working with the long I sound, and we're going to spell it 3 different ways. So if you're going to follow along with the lesson, grab paper and pencil and 3 different colored pencils because we're going to sort our list based on how the words are spelled, how that long I sound is spelled, but we're going to separate them into different colors. So grab paper and pencil, and I'll show you how to set up your paper. Okay, so what you'll do is you'll put the letter I and then a space and an E for those I consonant E spellings, and then you'll put I-G-H and then Y over here on the far right, and you're gonna put a line underneath each of those because we're listing the spelling words underneath here in columns. So give you a moment there to get set up. And just so you know, we are using the phonographics method for teaching reading, but we're using it for spelling. We're actually doing the opposite of reading when we're spelling. So instead of blending sounds together, we're pulling them apart. And we're focusing on those different ways to spell the same sound. So let's get started here with our first word. First off, we have lightning. Now, lightning has 2 chunks. A chunk is part of a word that has 1 vowel sound in it. So when you're looking for those vowel sounds, you can look for a vowel, but there are words that have more than 1 vowel in them, but not all of the vowels make their own sound. So this one, we do have just 1 vowel for each of those chunks, which makes it pretty easy to identify where they are. So when we have a 2-chunk word and we're working on spelling it, we're going to just focus on 1 chunk at a time. So we're going to spell light first and then ning. Now, our spelling of our spelling of long I is with IGH. So it's going to go in our IGH column. And if you'd like to add color to your words, you might want to color code these. So I put like a little red blob over here just to indicate which color I'm going to use for each of them. I'm going to use blue for this one and green for the letter Y. No particular reason. You can use whichever colors you like for this. All right, now what we're going to be doing, not only breaking it up into chunks while we're spelling it, but we're saying each sound as we write the letters. So we're going to go from pencil, and we're going to build that first chunk, which is light. We're going to say each sound as we go. O, and then we're going to switch to whichever color you want for that one. And we're going to hold that I sound while we write all 3 of these letters. It's just a little reminder that it takes a lot of letters to make this sound. So hold that I sound for all of this. And if you want, you can just watch me first before you write it. I. Okay, so now we have lie. Listen for the next sound in that first chunk, light. What we have is lie. We need light. So we need to switch back to our pencil and put in the letter for T, light. Now we're going to put in an I stopper here. Just breaks the word up a little bit so that we're not trying to focus on all of those letters at once, just one piece of the word at a time. So we've already broken up this first chunk just by identifying where that long I sound is, because the O and the T, those are the easy parts, right? That long I spelling is 3 letters long. So we're giving that a color, and we're going to be grouping them with other words that have that IGH spelling. So it'll become easier later on. All right, so next up we have our second chunk, which is ning. So you're going to say each sound as we write the letters again. N, E, N, ning. Lightning. All right, let's move on to another word. By saying each sound as we write the letters, we're using more of our senses to learn them. So this is a multi-sensory activity. We're using our sense of touch, our hearing, and our sight all together at the same time to help us learn the information faster and retain it longer. Retain means to hold on to it. All right, next up we have an I consonant E pattern here. We have smile, smile. We don't make any sound here for the E, so we're going to put this one in our I consonant E column. We're going to say each sound as we write the letters, but we will not make a sound when we get to the E at the end because the I works together, because the E works together with the I. All right, here we go. Smile. Listen for those sounds as we go. S, m. Switch to your color. I. Switch back. O. Come on, O. Come all the way down. Oh, that looks terrible. Let's try that again. O. I erased too much stuff. And then we're going to decorate the end of this with an E. I say we decorate it because it doesn't really do anything. It's just kind of hanging out there, looking cute. That's what it does. Smile. And then I underline each of the letters in that spelling and I hook them together. And now my smile has a smile on it. I always say those two letters like working together, so they're smiling. All right, let's move on to another word. Okay, now we have deny. That long I sound is spelled with a Y in this word. This is another two chunk word because there's a vowel sound here and right here. Deny. So we're going to take it one chunk at a time. We're going to do D first. Starting out with pencil. D is D. E, D. Put in your eye stopper. And then we have nigh for our second chunk. I'm going to use this one. I, nigh, deny. Now we have all three of these words here. You can kind of see where that long I sound is in each of the words because they're highlighted with color. So it's always helpful if you can give each target sound a different color so that you know what you're looking for in each one. All right, let's continue on. Now we have twilight. So this word actually has two long I sounds in it. So if we had a column for I by itself, we would put it in that one, or we could put it in IGH because I by itself is a long I sound, like in kind and mind. And then of course IGH, we knew that because we already did lightning. So twilight has two chunks. We're going to build twi first. So say each sound as you write the letters. T, w, I, and put in that I stopper. And then we're moving to light. Listen for the sounds in light. L, I. Hold that sound that whole time you're writing all three of those letters. Underline it. And then what's that last sound you hear in twilight? Light. T, t, t. That's it. So add your t. And you've got twilight. It's that time of day right when the sun is coming up and right when it's going down. It's still a little bit light out. Okay, moving on to our next word. Now we have the word right. Like I'm always right. Okay, maybe not, but this person is pointing to the right. We'll go ahead and add that one to our IGH column. We just need to worry about one vowel sound on this one. Right. We have R, I, T, right. That's right. Hopefully you're getting a lot of good practice here. Holding that I sound while you write all three of those letters, it really helps you remember what three letters that you need when you're holding that sound as you're writing them. And especially when you're using those same letters over and over again in the same column and in the same color. Okay, now we have an I consonant E word here. Divide. Two chunks. We're going to do one chunk at a time. And you can divide the word divide two different ways. You could do divide or you could do divide, whichever works best for you. Always go with splitting up the word in a way that you're going to remember best, because you're going to be listening to yourself while you're spelling this. So you want to know where those sounds are. So I'm going to do divide because that works for me. But if you like divide better, go with that. All right. So we have di first. D. I. Put in your eye stopper. And then we have vide. V. Change colors for your I sound. I. D. Divide. Now we're just decorating the end. We're not making a sound here because we don't say dividey. And then we're going to hook the I and the E together. Just a little visual reminder that we need to put that E on the end of this word. Divide. Now, the way we're breaking up these words, they're broken into chunks. A chunk is part of a word that has a vowel sound in it. We are not following strict syllable rules here. That's really important to know. So if you've learned syllable rules, this isn't going to necessarily match that. The reason why we the reason why we break it up the way we are here is so that you are listening for the sounds in the word, what order they come in. And sometimes when you follow strict syllable rules, they're split in a way that doesn't really make sense when you're saying them slowly to yourself. If it makes you feel better to follow those rules, that's okay, as long as you're not doing it with the double consonants, because when you get to double consonants, you have the sound either in one chunk or another. Like in pillow, we don't say pillow. That old sound is in one chunk or the other. All right, the last word we'll do is cried. This one, we're going to put this in our IE column. I know this one is vowel consonant E, but since we have the same spelling IE just stuck together, we'll put it in that IE column. Say each sound as you write the letters. Get in the habit of doing that every time. K, R, I, D, cried. Now if you're wondering why I stuck it in there, it's because it's the same two letters that make the sound. It's just that we don't have a consonant between them. All right. You know what? I think we need another one in our Y by itself column. We'll just keep going. Let's do another one. We have the word rely. Okay, Y by itself at the end. It's two chunks because there's two vowel sounds. Start out with your pencil. First chunk is re, r, e. Add your eye stopper, and then we have lie. Wool, I, rely. I need to underline my long I sound. I always underline whatever our target sound is. There you go. All right, you've got a little bit of practice with each of those spellings. If you would like to see some more of those, you can send me a message and I will get you the list and all the worksheets that go with this list so you can practice more of these words. We have 25 words in this list. Some of them are bonus words as well, so you can have a little bit more challenge if these weren't challenging enough for you. Make sure you subscribe so you know when I go live next, and I will see you in tomorrow's lesson. Bye.